everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome one and all to episode 133 of In Focus Friday. Now last week we had a look at the teeny tiny Dos Pesos gold coin. It's a very, very cool coin indeed. It seemed very popular with all of you last week. If you've not checked that out, there's a link down in the description below. Go and have a look. Now, as you can see, this week it is all about the Oriental Border Britannia. It beat the Germania and Gibraltar coins in last week's vote. Thank you for voting for those other coins. If you did, they will be returning at the end of this episode as usual with one other coin, which in all honesty is probably going to beat them again. So it's well worth sticking around to the end of this episode, having a look at what's in store next week and casting your vote. But now we are getting into the nitty-gritty of today's episode, which is all about the Oriental Border Britannias. So if you've been living under a rock for the last year and a half or so, you'll know, or you won't know, but if you haven't, then you will know that last year there was an Oriental Border Britannia in both silver and gold. And immediately I loved this coin. I thought it was fantastic. Now, I will just say my kind of usual disclaimer here. It's impossible for anybody to know what is going to be an incredible coin or not. About what's going to yield good returns or not. So whilst I'm bigging this coin up massively today, you should not take that as a reason on its own to go and purchase them. You need to do your own research and your own decision making before you jump into kind of making financial decisions like that, essentially. Now, these were very, very popular in 2018, and for myself as well as Silver Forum members. Silver Forum members went pretty crazy for them in 2018 on group orders and things like that. And now in 2019, we have a second one. And it's an interesting thing because I didn't know that there was going to be a series of these. I don't think anybody truly knew if there was going to be a series, whether or not it would just be a one-off, because the original Oriental Border Britannia was there to commemorate the original kind of Oriental themed trade dollars, the kind of old school British Far East trade dollars that were around in the 1800s. So it's really cool to have these now potentially as a series. I don't know quite whether the Royal Mint is going to create these every year for subsequent years, but regardless, they are awesome. They're very, very pretty, and I think that they've got a really good chance of being incredibly good in the future as a investment coin, as a flipping coin, as something to purchase to make some money on down the line, or just to purchase and enjoy because there's no doubting they look absolutely stunning. So the 2019 is out. Here it is in glorious silver. We'll have a look at the gold in a moment, talk a little bit about the gold, because the gold is a really good bet in my books, again, as much as I know about these things. So here is the 2019. You can see that essentially the design has remained the same. There's them side by side again. You can tell the difference being the border. Now, all of the borders of these coins, of course, are inspired originally by the original trade dollars. And this particular border here is much closer on the 2018, is much closer to the original kind of British trade dollar. However, the new Oriental border obviously is the thing that has changed for Britannia, and these are all inspired by the Chinese themed rooms at Buckingham Palace. So I'm reading, and also the Royal Pavilion in Brighton apparently. So that's very cool. I do like that it's going to have the border changing, because let's be honest, the Britannia is just Britannia. It's really nice. What I really like about this is the kind of contemporary look and feel of it, with the writing about 1 ounce 909 silver and Britannia being in the actual Britannia design itself. As you can see, it's written there with Britannia written perpendicular to the other writing. I think it's very cool like that, and I enjoy that. Of course, Queenie on the other side, we've got now the sort of typical radial circular patterns that we all know from the Royal Mint and have come to love. You know, I was a bit so about them when they first came out. I thought the Royal Mint, okay, yeah, they've changed the design a little bit, and now they're milking it. But to be honest, it's a really nice design, and it's one that's going to be very cool. Now, notice the important thing up here, £2. This is a UK denominated coin, which means it is capital gains tax exempt, which is a very, very good thing for UK investors, certainly UK investors who are looking to invest larger sums of money. Capital gains tax is not really something you should worry about if you've only got a couple of £1,000 worth of gold and silver, but nevertheless it is something that's important. Now, one thing that's really good about these is they come in capsules from the mint, so a sealed bag of 20 will be supplied if you buy 20 at a time, and in there'll be the 20 capsules. So chances of kind of toning and milk spotting on these are drastically reduced because of that, and the fact that they come protected is another indication that the quality of these will be higher than your regular sort of standard Bullion Britannias. So the silver ones each have a mintage of 100,000, which again is a very good thing in my eyes. The mintages are important to consider when looking at sort of investment coins. And for a coin which looks so good, has a big deal of kind of popularity behind it, is, you know, it's a good thing to have a limited mintage. Although 100,000 is pretty high. I think if the mintage was lower at 50,000, these would be a lot higher premium coins. But if you're talking about mintages of the Oriental Border Britannias, you cannot help but talk about the 2000, well, both years, the gold 1 ounce Britannias, because these both have a mintage of 5,000, which is pretty tiny in my opinion. Now, what is very interesting is that these, whilst they have a mintage of 5,000, and yes, they are just bullion coins, they don't have a ridiculous premium on them. So coins like the 1 ounce gold Queen's Beasts, they will have, well, certainly the earlier releases anyway, they'll have £200-400 worth of premium stuck on them at the moment. The Oriental Border Britannia in 2018, it's maybe 1,100, so maybe about 1,000. Maybe about £100 premium at the moment. And you can pick up the 2019 Oriental Border in gold for spot plus 5-6%. So it's not a huge premium at the moment. And for a coin with just 5,000 mintage, that's what makes this particular one here, in my opinion anyway, a kind of surefire thing. Well, look, as surefire as I can say. Again, this is not me telling you that this is definitely going to be a winner. It's, in my mind, a pretty good bet, is all I'm trying to say. So here is, let's do the comparison of gold versus silver. Of course, the gold is physically smaller because it's denser, but I don't know. The silver's got a really good look to it, but I think the gold wins it for me. Which is your favourite out of the two? Which do you prefer, the gold shininess or the silver? Be interesting to get your thoughts on it. Of course, on the reverse, we've got the radial pattern design again, which I think even looks better in gold. So definitely on this side, the light play and the angles that you can get off this are significantly better. So I'm very happy with this indeed. So there we have the Oriental Borders 2019s. Now, to back up my kind of claims that these are really, really good coins, not only were the 2018s incredibly popular with community members, forum members, but the 2019s equally. So when we had the group order in February and these were allowed to be ordered, it was bonkers. We had something like 250 of them ordered by forum members. So definitely a very, very popular coin indeed, which is another bit of evidence to tell you that it's, you know, maybe one to look at for the future. But what is really impressive is that the 2018, so let's talk a little bit about the prices for the 2018 silvers. So the 2018 silvers have now jumped in price. So these are going to be slightly premium coins as opposed to regular sort of Britannias. You know, if you're looking at getting a regular Britannia from any of the European dealers, you'd be looking at about €15, 60, something like that. For these, it's like 17.60. So it's like €1 or £1 more per ounce, basically. However, since the 2019s were announced and released, a lot of the European dealers out there have increased the prices of their stock for the 2018, these ones, by about £2.50, £3 per coin, which is obviously a really good thing. So now I'm finding that these ones here, which I bought a number of to specifically sell on eBay as a way to kind of, you know, get my seller reputation up, also make a couple of pounds here and there, but more importantly, get the Backyard Bullion brand and business card out to new people who might not have seen it before. So that's why I sell those. But I've noticed that the asking price for these have gone up and up and up, and some of my sold eBay listings have been going for £23, £24, £25 per coin, which is of course a really good win. It's a really good sign that this is something that's doing very well indeed. So I think that the Oriental Border Britannias are very good. I think if they're going to continue throughout the next couple of years or longer, that's going to be a really good thing for these two earlier editions of them. It'd be very interesting to see what kind of future permutations of the Oriental Border they can actually make, because there can't be that many, but maybe there are, I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts on these coins, so please do comment down below with your thoughts. Let's put them to one side for now and talk about what we might feature next week. So the returning items from the last week, in fact for the last like 6 weeks now, the Germania and the Gibraltar. Now, the Germania is a very popular coin, but perhaps it's just not as good as a lot of the other coins because it keeps missing out on votes. And I have no doubt that this week it will also lose out on the vote, because I picked up an incredible coin from the Silver Forum, which is this 1791 gold spade guinea, which is possibly now one of my favourite gold coins that I've got in my entire stash. Really, really happy with that. So if you want to find out more about that, then do vote for the spade guinea. Otherwise, if you want to see the Gibraltar, then make sure you vote for Gibraltar, and if you want to see Germania, vote for Germania. Otherwise, that is basically it for today's In Focus Friday. Let me know your thoughts on these glorious Oriental borders down below. Let me know your votes on what you want to see next week. And as always, put a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and hit the alarm bell if you'd like to get a notification when those videos go live. Otherwise, that is all I have to say. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. This weekend, by the way, for those of you who've watched to this far, here's a little preview of what's to come. Oh yes, that's right, the gold pouring has started and it is incredible. So make sure you stick around for Sunday's video where we pour some gold. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Anyway, have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you all on the next one. As always, please make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.